Hello everyone, it is Christine here and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm really excited to share a special project, a special community collaboration that I am kicking off. And I'm going to tell you all about it in this video, including how you can get involved. I'll also have a little mini haul at the end of some beautiful predominantly laces and a couple of doilies that I got as a mini little haul from the op shop, but it's got some super exciting pieces in it, so I'll give you a glimpse of those at the end. So what I want to talk to you about first has something to do with what you can see on the surface in front of you, and it has something to do with this green Ric Rac, which is from a vintage roll of Ric Rac. And it has something importantly to do with my beautiful Nana, who was a seamstress. Nana and Grandpa are no longer with us, sadly, but they live on in my thoughts every day. And I want to do a project that honours the character of my Nana and Grandpa, which was enormous generosity, enormous care for other human beings, and really being willing to kind of give what they have to others. And so I was reflecting on how I want to be able to not just thank you for your support in words, which I hope I always do by responding to every comment that is left on my video and engaging through other sort of, community engagements and things and supporting other creators. But I just thought I'd like to be able to bring some joy into your world by sending something out to you. And so that's where this idea came about, prompted by this roll of Ric Rac, which was my beautiful Nana's Ric Rac, and it's quite a decent roll of it, and it's in a really beautiful jaunty green colour that you can see here. And so my project, my community collaboration, is called Nana's Travelling Ric Rac, and I've written myself some notes to make sure I cover things in an ordered way, and I know some of you also take in information by reading it, so I thought I'd put my notes, excuse my handwriting, up as I talk about what it's all about. So my first question to myself was, what is it about? So as I've mentioned, it's all about community celebration and collaboration. It's a way for me to say thank you. I want it to be a collaboration that helps to strengthen connections and our slow stitching community. And I want to celebrate my beautiful Nana and my Grandpa. So at this point, I might just give you a little look at some photos. I just quickly grabbed some photos off the bookshelf of my beautiful Nana and Grandpa. So Ellis and Wilf, or Wilfred. And there's some other photos with family. That's my beautiful Nana and Grandpa there. And some other photos. Sorry, there was a bit of glint off that one. So just beautiful, gorgeous human beings. They're the people that I most aspire to be like. And so I thought, wouldn't it be beautiful to honour particularly Nana, but when I'm referring to Nana's travelling Ric Rac, it's as much thinking about my grandpa as well. So what I'm going to be doing is sending out small happy mails with some of my Nana's Ric Rac. So a sort of a length that's a usable length of it. A label, so I've made up and I'll be making up some more labels which have Nana's Travelling Ric Rac on it and Create and Craft with Christine. I think these can be a little record that as you create your projects, these can go onto your project, and who knows in the future if someone finds it, if someone can find a digital reference to this project, hopefully they might be able to find the other thing that I'm planning to put together with everyone's contributions as a bit of a community celebration piece, but we'll come to that in a moment. And I'll also be sending out some special stitching supplies, some special stitching treasures from my collection. And so the first lot of packages or envelopes that I'm going to be sending out will be including a panel of this beautiful floral fabric. Now, I was lucky enough to get this vintage floral fabric in a bulk lot of fabrics, and I've got, I think, about 20 meters of it. So there's no way, even if I was making large scale pieces, that I could ever use 20 metres, and I know so many of us love working with florals. We love doing thread painting. We love incorporating them into our pieces. So I thought, wouldn't this be just the most perfect thing to share? And I've done a test. I've done a test send out even. There's some a lucky person that's already receiving one of these coming out to them in the mail. And I can send them out in a regular envelope. I have a whole batch of these envelopes, and I can fold it down so it fits within the limitations of sending a card only envelope. And so rather than sending something that's paper, I'm just sending a card that is a piece of fabric with a little bit of Ric Rac on it and with a little label on it. So that's what's going to be in the first round of these. So I know floral fabric might not be up your alley, so you might not want to take it part in this round, but I am planning to run further rounds with different items included in them. So I will be selecting people to be sent a happy mail. I won't be able to probably send it to everyone that wants to take part in this first round. And I particularly want to recognise people that have really supported and been regular commenters, regular engaging on the channel, because it is as much, it's a community celebration, but it is a way of saying thank you as well. And the other thing I'll be doing is showing different ways that you can use what I send out. So I've already got some of this in my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery piece. I'm just going to grab it off the table down here. So if you've been seeing this piece, I've used some of the flowers in the foreground down here. And so I'm planning to do some quite intense thread painting into those. So that will be one of the first demonstrations that I will do. But I'm also really keen to make some things like pouches, needle books, other things. So I will show you different ways that you could use the supplies. So that's a bit about what it is and what I'll be doing. So then what I'll be asking you to do. So I'm going to give you freedom about how you use the supplies. So you might want to use them to make one or more projects of your choice. I'm not going to be prescribing anything. I'm someone that loves to create and create without kind of rules or patterns. So I'll be giving you some ideas, but it's ultimately down to you how you want to use the supplies. But what I am going to ask is that you send me back once you've made your one item, or you might want to use it across a number of items, is to send me back an email sharing some things with me that you're happy for me to then share back to our community. And I'll come to it in a moment, how I'm planning to do that at a broad idea level. So I'll ask you if you're comfortable to share a first name or a first name and your Instagram or YouTube name, up to you what you want to share. I'd suggest you probably don't share your surname unless you already use your surname in your Instagram or YouTube. So you might want to just, in my case, make it Christine O, or you could, for me, I could make it Create and Craft with Christine and then put in brackets YouTube. So have a think how you want to be known. The aim is to share this with our community, but probably where we ultimately share it will be in a place where other people might be able to view it. So just be mindful of that. I'll ask you to share your country, and then if you wanted to, you might want to share your state or your province or your broad locality. Please don't, and I would never share someone's actual address. So I might want to say Australia, and then because I'm within the state of Victoria, I could say Australia, Victoria, or I could say Australia, and then Melbourne, which is the broader metropolitan region that I am based in. I'll ask you to share some photos of what you've made. So either a photo if you've made one item or multiple photos, or you might want to send me photos as you progressively make items with the supply. And it'd be lovely if you did have something that used, with the Ric Rac in it, because the Ric Rac's kind of a unifying theme across these. But equally, if you use something that doesn't have the Ric Rac but has the floral fabric, definitely send me a photo of that. If you'd like to also cover what slow stitching in our community means to you, so a little bit of a sentence or two from you on that can be shared with the community as well. If you want to share a favourite quote, something that inspires you or makes you happy or makes you feel good. And then if there's anything else you'd like to share about yourself. So I, for example, might share that My dog Travis is a very essential part of my life, and as well as stitching, I love the garden and I love cooking. So you might just want to give the community a bit of a flavour of yourself. You might want to speak about a favourite place that you like to visit. Really up to you. The idea then, what I'm going to do with what you send back to me is create a shared compilation. Now, I don't know yet whether it will be a website or a booklet or something I can share back to the community that has your photos and the things you've shared about yourself that you're happy to be shared with the community. And it's going to be a way we can get to know each other, we can celebrate each other, and really start to strengthen some of those connections. So that's the idea. Obviously, I'm not going to chase you down to get you to send that email back to me. It's a sort of an invitation that when I send this out, I would love if you could do that. I know that life and other things can get in the way, so I'm kind of sending it out with no obligation, but with an invitation. So consider it that way. So how do you get involved? So if you're interested in taking part in my first mail out of these floral panels, so I'll be cutting relatively close around the pieces. Now I'm just having a look behind me so I can show you one of the pieces, for example. I'll be cutting around the edge of the bouquet to create a sort of a fabric panel. And I've worked out that this is about the size that is going to fit within the 50 gram limit for the envelope. And I'll be sending that out to those that are selected to take part in this first round. So if you're interested in receiving a floral panel plus a little Ric Rac label plus a piece of my Nanna's Ric Rac, which was the inspiration for this project, then please comment below this video, and in your comment include the word community. So just community by itself, or if you want to put community in inverted commas. Even if you don't want to write a whole comment, you can write community and that will be fine. I'll then be drawing out names from the commenters, and I'll be leaving a comment below your comment if your name is drawn out, and asking you to email me with your YouTube name and your postal address so I can send you an envelope with your little Happy Mail package. Please make sure that in the comments that you get back, make sure it's Create and Craft with Christine that's responding to your comment. I'll be keeping obviously a close eye and making sure no spammers or anything try and sort of get engaged. If at all you were iffy about it, just reply back to me in another comment and I'll confirm that it is actually me replying to you. So keep an eye. If you put a comment below this video with community in it and you want to be part of it, keep an eye out for a response from me, and if you get that, I'll provide you with my email address for you to email me, and I'll ask that you let me know what your YouTube name is so I can make sure it matches up with someone that has been drawn out, and then we can do it in a separate email once I've replied back to you, where you can provide your postal address to me or you can provide it up front. I'll then email you to let you know when your package is on its way to you, and I'll give you a list of the details of what I'm inviting you to send back to me when you've made your projects. And as I said, no time pressure, and in fact no obligation. If for whatever reason life gets in the way, I totally understand that. So hopefully that's enough information to give you an idea of what Nanna's Travelling Ric Rac is all about. And so just to reiterate, if you would like to be considered and be entered into the draw, where I'll be drawing out multiple names. I've bought myself a whole box of stamps. I've got a whole wodge of these envelopes. I'm cutting out a whole lot of these sections. And so I'll be progressively mailing them out. I won't do it all on the one day, so I'll be progressively pulling names out. And I will be particularly wanting to recognise, and there's already some folks that I'm going to be sending items to, and folks that I'm really hoping will put their name below the video, because I do want to recognise people that have been with me for a long time and giving really strong encouragement. So there'll be a bit of mix of sending out to people prospectively, and also sending out to those that I draw out as well. So that is the project. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to be honouring my beautiful Nana and Grandpa, and I'm excited to be thanking you. And I just thought, what a good way to kind of thank as many people as possible at once, because sometimes when I do a big package, a whole stash of goodies to send to one person, it's only kind of getting to one person, whereas I figure this can have widespread distribution. And I just love the idea as well of my Nana in spirit travelling out across the world. I know that, yeah, she would get a thrill from that. And so I know I'm going to get a thrill from that as well. I just noticed I had some Vegemite on my hand because I just had a bit of Vegemite toast before I started recording. So if you do have any questions, just post them below the video. But if you would like to be entered in, post a comment below this video with the word community in it. So I did also promise to show you a lovely little stash of goodies that I got at the op shop the other day. Now, I popped into the op shop very quickly at lunchtime as I was coming back from the supermarket, and I got some lovely doilies, but particularly some amazing lace pieces. So this, and I've given them all a wash, so this one's actually got a few little raggedy bits around the edge, but it's got a very sweet little house. It's a cross stitch, got sweet little flowers around the outside, and then down the other end it's got a beautiful crinoline lady. It still does have a few little stains on it, but again, I could cut it out, or I could just add like a little bow or something over that stain with some little cross stitches. And it's got sweet little trees as well. So at this op shop, these are 50 cents for the small ones, which is super, super amazing. Now, continuing the crinoline lady theme, I got this one, which I got mainly for the flowers. And in the shop, I couldn't work out what this was. I thought maybe it was a rose up this way. It was only when I got it home and turned it up this way that I worked out it was a crinoline lady done in tiny little grey cross stitches with a little umbrella and a bow up the top. But the flowers are absolutely beautiful, and the minuteness of this little cross stitch. And look at the back, look how neat that is. I think this is such a lovely piece. I've got nothing like it in my collection, so that's definitely going into the special collection. I'll put that down here. Then I got these two, which were attached together with a piece of, so I guess they've been made and probably never used, but aren't they lovely? Beautiful bright stitching on it. Again, super neat on the backs. They were good. I will probably take these apart because it's a bit hard to show you when they're both attached to each other. But they're very sweet on a beautiful, quite robust linen, which is lovely. And then I like to get these quite small doilies. This one has the beautiful butterfly design on it, which I love, and they make beautiful little pockets. But again, these sorts of things will probably feature in a future collaboration when I send out some vintage doilies and goodies. So I'm planning this Nana's Travelling Ric Rac as a sort of rolling program, but because I've got so much of this beautiful floral fabric, I promised to Alex that I was going to be sending it out into the world. And what a better way than to honour my Nana. So that's another one of the little butterfly ones. Another beautifully stitched floral one, just so neat. Even the leaves. And then another little cross stitch one. It was funny when I went to the little basket of doilies, I thought, oh, there's not much there, but then I started pulling them out, and even some of these other little ones. And yeah, they're beautiful. Look at that. So this one hasn't had all the sort of edging put on it, but I don't mind, because I'd either use it in this current form with the sort of the nicely frayed edges, or I can cut it just where this little sort of edgy piece is, or I could tuck it under. Lots of possibilities. So I'll put that one over here. Another amazingly, look how neat that and fine that stitching is, with a beautiful flower display in the middle. I'm not sure how I feel about the sort of the brownie bits around the outside. I could either unpick them, or I could maybe add a bit of colour, maybe add some green to them so they're more like leaves. But it's still a beautiful, and even the little edging around it is lovely. And then got some more little doilies. Again, great for little pockets or folding around a page. Got this beautiful little miniature doily set. So again, they're lovely to use individually, or at that size you can use them whole. This one again, a more unusual. I don't have as many square crochet doily pieces, but again, that would make a lovely little pocket or something. I like these ones because they make great covered buttons, and they're just, again, a really, I do have another couple of doilies like this, but I've cut some of the other ones into because, yeah, they're lovely textural little pieces. And then this one, which I got because it's a design that I don't, it's almost like little tulips or flowers around here. This one, it's got some holes in it, but it's a beautiful piece. It's like a couching that's done over a mesh background, and if anything, the holes just add a bit of charm to it, and I can see that being a really sweet little pocket or a wrap over a page. And then this was leading into the amazing laces. This one looked quite plain when it was all sort of crumpled up in the basket, but just have a look at some of the detailing on this, particularly the little leaves. Aren't they amazing? They stand up off the piece. It is just incredibly beautiful. Look at this. And these flowers, again, standing up off the piece. So it's on that sort of mesh, and then each of these have individually been done, these little leaves and flowers. It is just a delight. And 50 cents. I mean, someone would have spent so much time on this. And it's actually in remarkable condition. So this is definitely going in my special display book. It's got a tiny little, I did soak everything and carefully washed it. It's got a tiny, I could probably give some further treatment to that, but I'm not terribly fussed about that. But so thrilled with that. And then as I was walking out and waiting for someone to come back to the register, I noticed that they had a bunch of laces, but all in little, crammed into little plastic bags that were all sealed up. But they had 3 for $1 on these bags, and I thought, oh, I'll just have a quick look. And as I was looking into the bags, I noticed some extraordinary things that I could even tell from just looking at the bag that they were extraordinary. Now I am going to grab down, and I probably should have done this before actually when I was showing you this one. I've got a black back because it really helps you to kind of see what is on the piece. So let me just give you a look at this. So one of the things that when I got home and was putting everything into soak, I found this amazing collar piece. Isn't it incredible? And the work on it, sorry, I'm just working out which is the front and the back. No, this is the correct way around. Look at the work. It's got little hearts, it's got flowers, it's got this incredibly intricate, look at this work up there. It's slightly falling apart up here. But again, it's on that mesh. I'm assuming this has all probably come from the same person's collection, but I just can't imagine how someone could, one, send it to the op shop, and 2, for it to end up just scrunched up in a bag for the price of 3 for $1. Like something like this, I know these pieces, they are worth so much more than that. This is definitely vintage, but I think it's actually antique, and it is stunning. So that is definitely going to be inspiring me. I've mentioned I want to do the sort of lace honouring book, and yeah, it's definitely inspiring me. That's why I had these pieces out, because I was starting to think about my approach to that. So they were 2 treasured pieces of white, and I am pretty certain, as I say, that these would have both come from the same person, because I think if I examine them, I might even see some commonality in some of the elements as well. Certainly the sort of the raised effect and the leaves, I think there is commonality. And so out of the bags of the laces, These are after I've given them, I did give some of them a soak as well, and then had to iron them all to get them to sit flat again. But these are the amazing other laces that I got. So I'll take them, I've just put them on cards to keep them sort of, together. This one, just super sweet. I think this is one that's been done with tatting. Don't know if I need to, might actually just bring you down even closer if that's not going to be too much of a trouble for you. So that's that one. Just have to not lose my pins if I can. Just take it out this way. This one I don't think is as old, but it is still very fine. I don't think this one is handmade. As I say, it's sometimes hard to tell through the plastic bag, so I did take a punt on a few, but I do like this one all the same. This one is definitely handmade. You can tell by the irregularity of it and just the fineness of it, and it is amazing. So there's that one. And then there's this one. Again, I'm pretty certain this is handmade. It could be a machine made, but it's a very old one if it is. And then another beautiful one. And another, oops, just move it up so you can see. Another gorgeous one here. Just take it around one more step so you can see. And then another beautiful one here with little hearts and little shapes. So yeah, incredibly old lace. And you can see some of it I've got a very decent quantity of. So those are absolute treasures. And then there's two on here. One which I'm jury's out on whether this one, I'm pretty so sure this one is actually handmade, if anyone can help me determine one way or the other. But it is very intricate. But it did have quite a few little loose threads in it, which I think maybe with a machine you'd still get that. It had come off a piece of clothing because it had a little bit of fabric attached to one end of it. The one that I was most thrilled about, which is amazing, is this. And it was quite discoloured. It's still, even after soaking, it's still got a fair bit of discoloration to it, but I'm not going to soak it any further because I think these things add to its age and add to its charm, and there is a huge amount of that, and just the intricacy in the handwork that went into this. So I do want to really educate myself through the process of making a book of laces on the different methods and when they were used and any of the designs. So I think I'm going to start putting, as I have all these things, putting them into a special box and making that my project box for a book of laces. And I'm really thinking about using these beautiful black men's handkerchiefs that I got a bulk bag of them from the D-Stash at the Embroiderers Guild, and I just think they'll provide a beautiful background to offset against my laces. And I have an idea of making pockets where I can put have some of it on display, but then have some of the sections of it into the pockets in the book. So it becomes a display book, it becomes something I can look at as inspiration, but it also becomes a place to keep the extra amounts that I don't end up sort of, sending out and sharing with others. So they were the laces that I got, and it was, Justin, I think I was probably came to, because I think she gave me one free, so what is it, probably, $4 or something for these amazing laces, which ones like this I would have happily paid for the amount that's there. It would be a fortune if I was buying it at a vintage market. So I hope you enjoyed that little glimpse. Oh, and I did get one other thing. Let me just grab it from behind me here. I got, and I might need to bring you up for this, although you can kind of see it there, but I will bring you up so we don't get too much, hopefully we don't get too much glare. I got this beautiful long stitch framed cottage for $3. So the frame itself, it's a proper glass front on it, and it is impeccable. I'll have to not tilt it up that way, but you'll get glare. It's impeccable stitching. So I haven't decided yet whether I'll take it out of the frame, but I think it is so beautifully framed that I will probably leave it in the frame and have it up. You can use these sorts of things and incorporate them into your other works, into like a housewife or something, but I think the stitching is beautiful, so I think it will be just staying this particular way. But $3 is a whole lot of crazy, so I'm just going to put that down. So thank you so much for watching, and again, if you would like to take part, and if you're interested in going into the draw to be in my Nanna's Travelling Ric Rac community collaboration, be sure to leave a comment below this video with the word community in it. So I'll talk to you all soon. I'm super excited, and I'm just loving thinking about my Nanna and thinking about how excited she would have been about this. And thank you so much to everyone for your support. That's what this is all about. So I'll talk to you soon, and take care. Bye everyone.